Alright, what's going on everyone? Today we're going to be upgrading another starter deck, a Magic Arena starter deck. It's going to be the Learn from the Land deck, which, if you want to upgrade this, you have to click the clone button down here, which is going to add a copy to your decks, which you can now change to your liking. This is going to be a 0 rare, 0 mythic build, so no rares, no mythics, commons and uncommons only. We also need to click on the deck box here, or if you are in this mode, you need to click up here, and this is going to be a standard upgrade. And what's cool about this deck, so I've upgraded these like 3 times because they released them 3 times. It's complicated, but this deck has definitely changed the most because it's a green landfall deck. If I type landfall, we get some stuff. If I just type land, we get more stuff. It is a lands matters deck. Also has some weird tempo stuff. I don't know why. But we have had 2 sets since my last upgrade that had landfall as a main mechanic. That being Final Fantasy with the Chocobos and Edge of Eternities with the lander stuff. So we have lots of new options for this deck. So what's bad? Let's talk about what's bad first. We do want to ramp, but we want to ramp with lands because we care about lands entering the battlefield. So it's not that I think like Land or Elf is bad, but I do think we want to focus on lands entering as opposed to mana dorks. And there's also just a lot of weird stuff like why is this in the deck? This is pretty bad, right? I don't know what this is doing here. It doesn't trigger landfall at all or do anything. I guess it's just a big thing to ramp into. So yeah, we can fix that with commons and uncommons. We'll start by giving myself some room over here. Maybe we got to do this as well. Just to give myself some room. But I want to take out Mild-Mannered Librarian. And I want to add a card that you're probably familiar with if you've played with or against landfall at all. And that is Saz's Chocobo. How is that pronounced? I don't know. It's a 1-mana 0/1, which is pretty bad. But whenever our land enters, we get a +1/+1 counter. Now we are going to be adding cards that give us multiple landfall triggers per turn. In fact, just as an example, we don't have them, my fingers are on the wrong keys. We have things like Terramorphic Expanse, which is enters, then you sacrifice it. You can search for a basic. That's 2 landfall triggers that would put 2 counters on this and draw 2 cards with this, so on and so forth. So we'll be doing a lot of that later. This, on the other hand, though, 1 mana 1/1, don't care. 4 mana, it gets a couple counters, and you draw a card. It's all just pretty medium. I don't like it very much. And this is like, this is played in tier 1 versions of landfall, and it's an uncommon, so that is fantastic. Just as an example, this is also played in tier 1 versions of landfall, but it's rare, so we can't add more of them. But there's no reason not to play this in a landfall deck, which is why we're also going to take out 2 Spectral Sailors for 2 more of these. Spectral Sailor is fine. It's a tempo card. It's played in Tribal Spirits and Pioneer sometimes. Why is it in the deck? There is kind of a card draw matters theme, and that we have 2 copies of this and no other payoffs at all for drawing cards. So I guess that's there. It's not relevant at all. In fact, I would go so far as to say that the blue in this deck isn't relevant at all, with the exception of Tadiova. If this was in here, I'd probably encourage you to just go mono green. But this doesn't need to be here. Saz's Chocobo, very good. We want 4 of those. Very awkward off the top. It is a 0/1, but it frequently grows to like a 5/6 or a 7/8 pretty easily. Alright, so I was talking about multiple landfall triggers per turn. So we're taking out Exclusion Mage. It's a fun tempo card. It's a Mana War, right? I like Mana War. I like tempo. But we want, is it Spring Bloom? Is that correct? Okay, good. So it's a weird card when you read this. So when it enters, you sacrifice a land, but then you search your library for 2 more. So you go up 1, right? If you had 3 when you cast this, you sacrifice down to 2, then you get 2, you go to 4. So this is +1 land overall. It's a mana ramp. It's 3 mana, get 1 extra land. But the wording of sacrifice a land and get 2 means you get 2 landfall triggers. And that's why this card is so good. It's just about getting double triggers, right? Double landfall triggers. It's +1 land, but 2 landfall triggers. So we're trading a 2/2 for a 1/1, and this 2/2 is pretty good with the way it bounces and stuff, but, double landfall is what we're all about. Definitely want these in here and take these out. We're taking out a lot of blue cards, and that's going to continue. So this is a payoff for drawing. There's a lot of, oh my god, I need to move my keyboard over. I keep putting my fingers on the wrong keys. There is some card draw in the deck. Like, I don't want to say there's none. And we took out 2 Spectral Sailors, which could also draw cards, and the Librarian could also draw cards. But I don't think that's worth having a draw payoff. This just doesn't seem to fit at all. I get it, right? It's learn from the land. Learn is the draw. It's a landfall and card draw. You want Tadiova with that for sure, but I just don't think it's good enough. So I want to add, I believe it's Shoe Puff. Oh no, it's Ride. We ride there it is. It is Shoe Puff. Excuse me, hang on. Oh, it's 1F, isn't it? Okay. Anyway, this is a payoff for landfall as opposed to card draw. Landfall, whenever a land enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. That's fine. The cool part about this is because we're ramping so much, eventually you can pay 7 for this and make it a 7/7. We're not playing this for that mode, but it's nice to have. I have animated this several times. The card draw payoff, I mean, this card's okay, I guess, but I don't really get it in this deck. It just doesn't do enough. So I want these out. I want these in here. And similarly, we added a ramp here. I said I wanted to take Mana Dorks out for landfall. I didn't do it 1-for-1. I didn't take this out for this, but we added 3 of these, and now I want to take out 2 of these to add 2 more of the Ride the Shoe Puff. Again, with the ramp, we want these. We want the landfall. We care about this more. And now that we've added these, I just want more payoffs for lands entering. Pretty simple here. Let's go up to 4 of these, and 2 of those will still be in the deck for now. I also want to take out Felling Blow, which I hate. It is in all of these decks, and I kinda despise it. It's not that it's bad, it's just that it's overpriced. So it's a fight spell. This is a fight spell. Both of these are fight spells. The cool thing about this card is it has kicker, return a land. Now, you don't have to do that. That is optional. But what this is it's a fight spell, and when you're not hitting your land drops, you can just bounce a land and replay it, which untaps it, by the way, and gives us landfall triggers. You could, let's say it's like turn 5, and you didn't get a land drop that turn. You can pay 2 for this, pay the kicker, return a land, then replay it untapped, and just get a free counter here. Maybe draw a card here if it's in play or whatever, right? That's the idea. And remember, you don't have to return a land. If you already have lands in hand, there's no benefit to returning the land. You're just setting yourself behind on mana. So don't do that. You want to return the land if you play this on a turn where you didn't hit your land drop. And then you're breaking even on mana. You're not falling behind, other than you already missed a land drop, but you're basically untapping a land and getting landfall triggers. So it's a really cool bonus that you use, I find, like 40 or 50% of the time. I say more often than not, I just cast this as a fight spell. But there are times when that kicker is actually super nice, especially if you have loot, for example, which can let you play extra lands per turn. So even if you hit your land drop, this can just let you bounce in and replay another one for just extra benefit. And the Felling Blow, well, that's a counter, I guess. But it costs 3, and yeah, don't like it. Next, I want to take out a Sentry for Tadiova. Taking out a 4-drop for a 5-drop, but we've been adding a lot of ramp and stuff. And this is fine. It's not. This is like a Planeswalker deck card from 2017. I don't know, it's not very good. This is smaller, and it costs 1 more, but the card draw is insane, especially when you're playing stuff like this and this, and getting 2 land drops and drawing 2 cards. If you can get Tadiova down and not die, it can be tricky to play it and if you're under pressure, but once you get it down, the life gain and card draw, it feels like you just start running away with the game. Getting it down can be tricky, but it usually feels pretty good after it's down. So I'm going to take out 1 of these, add 1 of these. I'd like to go to 4 of these, but they're a bit clunky and it's legendary, so I'm just going to stick with 3 for now. Alright, so we have changed a lot of cards. What have we changed? 4, 6, 10, 13, 14 cards already? I mean, we've almost gotten to the point where we've changed like half of the deck, right? So I would say a lot of this going forward is optional, but you'll notice that we have just kind of awkward unnecessary cards here. And these upgrades coming forward are kind of like, they're optimizations, but they're not 100% necessary. So I want to take out the Century for the Armadillo. This card, where to go? It's here. So we're basically trading a big thing for a big thing. The difference here is this for 2 mana, you can discard it, search for a land, put it into your hand, and gain 3 life. As a creature, it's more expensive, but it's also a 2-drop thing that you can play down here that just gets a land. It ensures you hit your land drops. Don't be afraid to cast this if you're light on lands. It's like this. This isn't a 7-mana 7/7. It's a 2-mana, put counters on your things, and then in the late game, if you have excess mana, then it can become a 7-mana 7/7 if you want. This also is a lot of times just 2 mana, get a land, make sure you're hitting those land drops, and then when you top deck it in the late game, hey, you got a 7/7 reach ward. Not bad. So I want to take this out. I want to put this in. And similarly, right here, same thing. 6 mana 4/4. If you put 2 counters on it, it's a 6 mana 6/6 with Vigilance. So we're trading a Vigilance for Reach Ward, also +1/+1, because this is a 7/7. I just like this so much better. They both cost 6. This is just miles better. So I want to take these out, and I want to go to 3 of the Armadillos. I also want to take out a Druid of the Cow and just add a Llanowar Elves. Llanowar Elves is one of the best mana dorks in the game. It is the best. Well, okay, maybe there's better. In Modern, there's some better stuff maybe, but a 2 mana, all we care about with this is just getting more lands or getting more mana, and I don't want to pay 2 for it. I want to pay 1 for it. I don't care about the 1/3. We're usually tapping it anyway. Take this out, add this. That's better. And lastly, same process, same idea. Where'd that go? Here. Here. I want to take this out. Same idea. 2 mana. Now this does ramp us. This does not ramp us. It gets a land into hand, so we don't miss our land drop, but it doesn't add mana. But I think the upside of this, being a 7/7 in the late game, is just way better than the 1/3 here. It's fine. I want to take this out. I want to go to 4 of these. It's a really fun card. Don't forget to just pay 2 for it. Just get your lands. If you don't have lands, if you're flooded, by all means, just hold it. That life gain, by the way, very relevant too, especially against aggro decks. I would also say, yeah, you could probably take out an island for a forest because we're very heavy green. Like I said, this should have been mono green, I think. Tadiova is the only reason to play blue. So going forward, you can add the lands that sacrifice and search. So there's Fabled Passage. You would have this one most likely. And the rares. But even in non-rares, you have Escape Tunnel. You have Terramorphic Expanse. You have Vibrant Cityscape. Not this one. Demolition Field, also not bad. It can destroy creature lands. So all of these, let's just add 1 of each. I would search your collection for any of these because they basically, with the exception of Demolition Field, let's just take this one out. All of these let you double trigger landfall, right? If you have a Tadiova in play and you play a Terramorphic Expanse, it enters, triggers Tadiova, then you sacrifice it, and you trigger Tadiova again when you find the second land. So all of these do this exact same thing, and this one even has an extra benefit of the unblockable part. But all of these are probably better than like Simic Goatgate, for example. It enters tapped either way, but we like to double landfall. I would probably take out 4 Simic Goatgates for any combination of these that you have. You don't even have to craft any to see which ones you have, and they all do functionally the same thing. And that's better. And in terms of rares, there are a lot. Okay, rares. So let's talk about tier 1 landfall. So all of these are played in the competitive deck. This is 2 mana. Every time you play a land, you get a counter. This is better than this because, I mean, you could play both. A lot of decks do play both. But the benefit here is you have 5 mana, double the counters, which is really powerful with Mossborn Hydra. Tifa, whenever a land enters, she doubles her power. The idea being that you want to get counters on her with Bristly Bill or this. And then this just doubles and doubles and doubles and gets huge. If you played Standard at all, you've probably been smacked with a 60 power Mossborn Hydra. It's really good. great. It's already in the deck too, so you might have already played that. We also have some kind of like, they're pretty powerful but unnecessary. So Traveling Chocobo will double your landfall triggers. So like if you had Tadiova in play and you played a land with this in play, this double triggers, which is really powerful with these two. With all of these. With all the stuff I just showed you, with Mossborn Hydra, where is it? With Mossborn Hydra, with Tifa, with Bristly Bill, Traveling Chocobo just doubles all of that. This is fun. It is, you can play an additional land, you can play lands from your graveyard, and when you play a land, you mill a card, which will fill your graveyard with lands to play from the graveyard. Very good at consistently hitting your land drops. It's clunky, but it's really grindy, and this is a fun card that I like. It's a 3 mana 3, or no, it's not a 3 mana 3/3. It's a 3 mana, has power toughness equal to your land count. So minimum it's a 3/3, could be a 5/5 or a 7/7 or a 10/10, and then it just comes back from the graveyard and brings lands back. Super cool, super fun, underplayed in my opinion. Oh, what do you want to take out for these cards, by the way? Realistically, it's the blue cards, I think. These cards are so bad, they're not necessary. And Tadiova's cool, but kind of medium. And, you know, these are fine, but they're clunky. Oh, this card too. This is our worst, oh my god, please go here. There we go. This is our worst landfall payoff. By far. It just makes a 1/1. I would rather have Tifa or Bristly Bill or anything here. Every single card here, a Mossborn Hydra, better than this for sure. So by far, that's our worst payoff. I can sort these properly now, I guess, like so. Yeah, this is our worst payoff, and you could cut the blue entirely and probably be in a better place. I didn't talk about Gene Morphomago, by the way. But it turns things into 3/3s, and then it turns them into 6/6s eventually. It's not necessary, I would say. But that's our deck for now. It should be much better. It is much better. You know, just curving like Chocobo into this and to getting double landfall triggers. And then you have some much better top end stuff. It's pretty cool. But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. If this was useful, leave a like, deck list in the description, and I will see you in the next one.